Good afternoon, everyone. Phi Farley here. It's May 11th, Friday. Happy Friday, everybody. And heading into a Mother's Day weekend. Don't forget to acknowledge your mother and give her props for all the work she's done for you. All right. So yesterday had the Royals against the Orioles and pegged a lot right in that game, but the outcome was not the side I wanted. Alex Gordon comes up, ended up being 0 for 4. He does not do well against Tillman. I brought that up in yesterday's capping. However, Soler does, and Salvador Perez does, who had a great game, had a grand slam, 4 ribbies, and then Gordon hits him into a double play. Meanwhile, on the flip side, Adam Jones, I pointed out, went 3 for 5, and he does very well against Ian Kennedy. So I was worried, even when it was 5-0 on the top of the first, way too early, and sure enough, Baltimore came right back and took the lead, ended up winning that game. So not all off in the capping, but not the side I wanted to end with. So today, there's a couple of games that I like. I'm going to pick on one here, and I'll throw the rest in the comments. So I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers traveling to the Colorado Rockies, playing in the elevation there in Colorado. We have Chad Bettis on the mound for the Rockies, and Brandon Woodruff getting the start for the Milwaukee Brewers. Now, Brandon Woodruff is a call-up from Colorado Springs, not too far away. He's done this before, getting a single call-up to pitch against the Rockies. This is not the first time this has happened. It's a really interesting play here, and it's a really good strategic play, which is why you're seeing a lot of sharp money coming in on Milwaukee. Brandon Woodruff is a good reliever, but the Milwaukee Brewers bullpen is arguably the best bullpen in the league. Number 2 ERA in baseball. Number 1 after the 7th inning. Right now they have a 2.54 ERA. They have a 2.09 ERA after the 7th inning. So we're going to be leveraging that in Colorado on this spot start, bringing Brandon Woodruff up from Colorado Springs, where he's been fantastic. He has been starting at AAA ball. It's not like he's been coming out of the bullpen as he usually does in Milwaukee when he's been up in the bigs. So in Colorado Springs, he's had 4 starts. He's got a 1.89 ERA. He's 2-0. In his last start against Colorado, which was last year, he was playing in Coors Field, which is important to note, and he held the Rockies to 1 run in 4 2/3 innings. That's all we're going to hope for here today, is to get into the 5th inning. If we get into the 5th inning when we're happy with Woodruff's performance, we're going to move on to the bullpen, and then as long as Milwaukee has a lead at that point, it's going to be lights out. Now, let's take a look at why we have reason to fade Chad Bettis. Now, Chad Bettis has improved his delivery. He's taken speed off of his fastball, coming in around just 90, 91 miles an hour, as opposed to being 93 or so as it was before. Now, taking a few miles off has helped him get better control and have better demand over his pitches. Now, that said, if we were to look back, the Milwaukee hitters have a 340 collective average against Chad Bettis. So take that for what it's worth. There's a couple notables in here. Now, I will say Ryan Braun has struggled. He is 2, and he has the most at-bats, 2 hits, 12 at-bats, hitting just 167. But Hernan Perez, 5 of 9 for a 556 average. Christian Yelich, 3 of 4. Villar, 2 of 6, hitting 133. Travis Shaw, 3 of 6, hitting 500. So we have guys who have success. In fact, every single person in their lineup has had a hit off of Chad Bettis in the past 5 seasons that Bettis has been in the big leagues. Now, moving over as a team versus righties, we have 2 righties going at it today. The Colorado Rockies, in the 30 teams in the major leagues, they are number 29 hitting off righties. Matter of fact, they're tied for 30th, or I guess you'd call it tied for 29th, with the Marlins at a 215 batting average against righties. Milwaukee, right in the middle of the pack. They're number 15, hitting 247, a full 32 points above Colorado's batting average. So I'm going to take the better hitting team against righties. Now, finally, this is kind of an odd statistic because Colorado is a little bit of an anomaly in their home ballpark, in the elevation, and their team is typically based around that. but at home they're only 6-9. Milwaukee Brewers are 12-7. Now, the Brew Crew can hit the ball in the air, and what is bad about this spot for Chad Bettis, he only has 2 home starts. And one of them was San Diego. San Diego put the ball in the air, ended up driving in 4 runs on just 5 hits, and ended up winning 13-5. Bettis is a fly ball pitcher. So he's only had 2 home starts. It gets me a little concerned. Well, obviously, I wouldn't say concerned because I'm going to be taking the other side, but look for him to put the ball in the air, the Brewers to put the ball in the air, and to see a couple of those fly out of the ballpark. So I'm going to look for an early lead from the Brewers against Bettis, and Bettis to get roughed up just a little bit, even though he is a pitcher who's made adjustments and is coming out better than he has been in the past. But then we're just going to be rolling through that Milwaukee bullpen that has way too many options to keep the Colorado bats sidelined. So going to back the Milwaukee Brewers at a +110. Check out my other picks down in the comments. Good luck, everybody, and I'll see you again soon.